What's going on, guys? Welcome to A-Train Gaming, and today's video I have my first gameplay of some Battlefield 1 for you guys, playing some Conquest. I told you guys a couple videos ago when I was quitting Infinite Warfare that I was going to play other types of games, so I didn't want to just play Modern Warfare Remastered in 2K. I figured I would throw a third game in the mix, because I had the most fun when I'm playing multiple games. So here we have some Battlefield 1, and I guess what I'll just talk about is, you know, my first impressions, how I'm doing in the game, some of my, initial reactions, sort of what I was expecting coming into it, and if it's lived up to the hype or not. So first thing we'll just talk about is how I'm adjusting coming from a Call of Duty player to a Battlefield 1 Battlefield player. Call of Duty players get a lot of slack, especially from PC gamers or other first-person shooter gamers, because it's an easier game, and I kind of get that, I do, but I feel like the one advantage Call of Duty players do have over people like Battlefield players is just raw gun skill. Now, I don't necessarily have the best gun skill. It was actually much better in games where there was jetpacks and stuff. But in this game, I feel like my gun skill pretty much carried over. It took me a little bit to get used to this higher sensitivity that I was on, that is like the custom that everybody plays on. But overall, I still feel like I win most of my one-on-one gunfights. I just have to get a little bit better with the patience and using cover and stuff like that. But in terms of playing Conquest, I've adjusted very, very quickly to how to play the objective well, because in Call of Duty, I was a rarity. Even in public matches, I always just went for the win. Yeah, I like to drop numbers as much as the next guy, but I preferred winning. In domination, I was always capping and defending the B flags, usually double digit in both. And it took me a little bit to understand how to play this, how to understand where to spawn, and I had a friend help me with that, so I feel like I adjusted fairly quickly. I still have a lot to get better at and a lot to learn. Like, sometimes I probably choose a pretty bad spawn in terms of helping my team, but I feel like I got a pretty good grasp on how to play the objective, and I do pretty well inside of the objective. Occasionally I have games where I struggle running around trying to get to the objective, but once I'm there and I know there's an enemy in there, I'm usually pretty good about winning that one-on-one gunfight, or however many to get that objective. My favorite things about this game so far, by far, the maps. I don't know how many maps there are. I think there's like single digits, like maybe like 6 or 8 or something like that, but I love the big maps. I've always liked big maps in Call of Duties. Yeah, I like fast-paced action, but the problem with games with like Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare is that kills aren't rewarding anymore. Even in COD 4, kills are very rewarding, especially when going for headshots, because it's hard to drop those big numbers every game. Black Ops 3, I was dropping 50 to 60 easy every single game. The only time I would get excited is maybe if I dropped 70s to 80s, 90s. Like, that was when I felt good. In this game, every kill seems to be so rewarding because, I don't know, there's just something about big maps, running around, getting behind cover, playing inside an objective, these long game modes that can last like 30 or 40 minutes. Just the kills are so much more rewarding. And the map I'm playing on currently right here is my favorite map so far. The only map I'm really not a big fan of, and I don't know the names in this, so if you guys are Battlefield 1 players, you'll know the map I'm talking about. It's a map with a castle, and there's a big thing of water to swim across to get to the G flag. And there just seems like, my friend told me that there's a spawn on that side where people end up losing like 90% of the games they spawn on that side, and that's the one map I don't really like. You can get kind of trapped in the A and B type flag area, but this map, it's just, the graphics too are just insane. They're much better than Call of Duty's graphics, and I've always been a fan and believer of graphics aren't everything. But okay, first off, I don't know how I missed this guy in the ditch, but I'll go back and get him. But I get the war feeling again in this game, which I've talked about in the past. I feel like I'm in war, which I haven't had that. So I didn't even get that in COD 4, really. I do get that feeling in World at War, Black Ops 1, especially this. You really feel like you're like in the game. But one thing that I need to do in this game more is, it's going to be a hard game to play by myself. I feel like this is a game I'll be able to play with friends, and I'm recording this by myself and I had a lot of fun, but it's just, it takes a lot out of you with these long games. I don't feel like this is going to be a game where I can play 2 to 3 hours on end. I feel like 2 to 3 games is like the most I can handle. They take a lot out of you, as corny as that sounds, even though I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs in front of a screen. But with like Call of Duty, I could play like a lot of games in a row, although lately it's been harder to just get on and play a ton of Call of Duty like I used to, but I can still play a couple hours in that game pretty easily. But in this, it feels like, I don't know if it's just because how much more intense every life feels like almost, but I gotta get better as my body goes flying from that grenade. I gotta get better at just playing longer periods of time and trying to play by myself. This was actually the first time right here. There was a game before that I didn't end up using because our team was getting pretty demolished, but This is the first time I'm playing by myself, and I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do that with this game. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for videos and types with this. I don't know how much this is going to be featured in my rotation with 2K My Team and Modern Warfare videos. I still have to kind of figure out all that, but the main thing I'm worrying about right now is consistency, and I still want those to be great quality. I don't mean to just make it seem like I'm putting out videos just for the sake of putting out videos, but it's kind of like when new games come out, I kind of have to learn my niche in that again. With Black Ops 3, I got in kind of a comfort zone. And with 2K, I feel like now I kind of know that my team is what I enjoy doing the most, and I'm just sticking to doing those videos. I have to learn now with COD 4 and Battlefield what to do. So, but this game, I had expectations of this because I played the beta, and I'm going to be honest, I did not enjoy the beta. The one map they gave you on the beta, tanks. Tanks were the only thing that killed me. I didn't lose one-on-one gunfights, but I probably got in one-on-one gunfights 2 to 3 times. It was literally just tanks, horses, planes. It was all vehicles. It was like it was terrible to be on the ground in this game. So with these maps being more spread out, I feel like than that one, I don't know if since I played, they've either just taken away how many tanks you can have or vehicles. They still have an impact. Like if you run into a tank, you're probably gonna die. But I kind of learned how to destroy it more, and it's a great team thing to have multiple people destroying a tank. Like when there's a tank around, it seems like people try to go after it now, which is nice. But they did a good job of making sure that the vehicles were still good, but they weren't the entire game. Like, in the beta, that's all it was just people in the vehicles killed me every time. In this game, I feel like it's a lot more gunfights, and I still, like, I don't mind the vehicles, but I'm really glad they toned them down. Occasionally, I can still rage a little bit when the tanks trap me in a corner and destroy my entire life, but I understand that that's realistic, so I'm fine with it, and it's gotten a lot better. So this game so far I've really been enjoying. I'm excited to continue to play this in the future. I don't know how often I'll be posting videos of this. Like I said, I gotta kind of figure out what I'm doing to this game, but please leave a like if you enjoyed. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.